Hello, hello, my hey, I got something to say, women around the world and men that support us. I'm so excited about today. You know how I love first. And I don't think we ever had anything like this ever in over 17 years. So isn't that's an excited dance? But before I tell you what that is and let your curiosity build, let me introduce Clare Morrison. Hello, Clare.
Hello. Thank you for having me, Sandy.
I'm so excited. And by the way, when Claire came on, I thought it was like her husband and something in the background looking on with his hand, but that's
Because
that's
it's
from
good.
Thing, right?
Yes,
Oh
he's coming
my.
in
Yeah,
from
throw him
the
over.
Adams family.
That was so funny. I'm like, oh, he's just making sure she's doing okay. Claire, thank you so much for being with us today. I'm so glad we got to chat a little bit before.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you for having me and helping me get this message out and promoting our event because it's going to be a lot of fun.
It is. So, what I'm going to do is change it up a little bit today, people. And I'm going to do Claire's bio so that you can have a little bit more anticipation of what we're talking about today. Here's Claire. Claire is a New York native and Philadelphia transplant for many decades. She began her career in radio promotions at WDRE, I know that one in New York, then at WMGK, we know that one in Philadelphia. While she enjoyed the event planning of promotions, she wanted to help animals and the community. Enter animal advocacy slash charity, which allowed her to join two passions together to make a difference. And thus she started Mac's Fun in honor of her cat, Mac. Yes, people, we are definitely going to talk about community, reaching out for help, and how to make a difference, whether or not you're involved with kitty cats. But we are definitely here to promote Mac Fun. And I've never done anything like this. And what's wackadoo that I've never done anything specifically for cats is that I now, Claire, have six cats of my own.
Well, we beat you by one. We've got seven. And
Yeah.
right now I'm fostering a mom cat and three baby kittens. So that brings us up to 11, but
Oh
only for
my.
a little while.
Okay. Well, we had four, and I thought that was a lot, but we took it another one, and then we took it another one. And my dog's older, and he's okay with it all. So Dawson's
Okay.
like,
Yep.
more
Our
company.
dogs. Yep. The more cuddling, the better.
So let's get into your power statement. And then I want to know why you picked it, because I'm sure it hits home. Don't be afraid to ask for and accept help. They are community cats for a reason. All right. So let's get into first why, of all the things, you picked this one about asking for help, because I know so many of us have a problem with that. And I don't know why.
That is a big problem. Trying to help the cats of the community, I cannot do it on my own. And there's huge parts of it that I just emotionally can't handle. But I can raise money. And raising money involves asking people to donate. And it just goes against everything. Oh no, you don't ask people, you supply it all. But right now we're working in doing our event, and I'm reaching out to restaurants and realtors and food places and entertainment, all different people. And we're asking, can you donate your time? Can you donate your services? And immediately everybody says yes. Everybody wants to help. And I forget that all the time, that, I think, oh, you're putting people out, but people want to feel good about themselves. They want to help other people. And I think that gets lost in you got to be strong. You can't take help from other people. And you do a big
Yeah.
disservice to both the people and yourself.
I think that's true about whether it's community service or business. We get this like we're supposed to do it on our own, and it makes us look weak. But I actually think it makes us look stronger by knowing, what we do well and what we don't, and where the cracks are. Because when we build the right team or the right community, it's going to be bigger for everyone and everyone's going to benefit. And here,
And the people who do ask for the help are the ones that you turn around and go, "Oh my God, they're so confident. They're not afraid. They're," and you look up to them, and they come across as a person you want to be.
yeah,
But but mentally, we don't think that way.
yeah, it takes a beat. And here's the other thing. When you're reaching out, whether it's volunteering, supporting, or giving money, there are people that don't have the time but will give the money. There are people that don't have the money that will give the time, but they all can give in some way.
Absolutely. You don't have the time, you don't have the money, you don't have the energy. You can promote it. You can tell
Yeah,
somebody about it.
yeah,
Even if that's all you can do, that's a bunch. Because you may tell the right person who knows somebody else who, oh, I happen to have a cat, blah, 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 that can help you with whatever.
yeah.
It's
I agree.
communication is a big part of it.
And the thing is, we built it up in our head way more. Like you said, there wasn't a person that didn't want to help in some way.
Absolutely. Yes. And then if they couldn't help, if you asked for something, they felt terrible. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can't help this time. I can't do it. But next time, please, please remember me for next time. And you generally believe them when they say it. It's not like they're blowing you off.
Question. Have you ever encountered people that still wanted to give to you, even though they weren't cat fans or cat lovers?
Yes, absolutely. There are a lot of people who, but it's so odd to run into people who aren't fans of animals in general. But
Good point.
it's, what I mean? There's very few
Yeah.
people who are like, oh, I don't really like cats or dogs. There are people who say, oh, I'm not really a cat fan, but my brother is. So I'm
Yeah.
bringing him
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
the event, or my boyfriend loves them, or,
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Or I'll support it, but I can't go. I'm highly allergic. Like,
right, exactly. I love them, but I can't be around them.
yeah, that's a good
And
point.
those are the people who just help promote it or donate a basket or something else. There's always ways to get involved.
You just got me thinking for the first time. I don't know if I know anyone that doesn't like animals. You're right. They may not be cat lovers or dog lovers specific, but I don't even know if, I'm sure there are, but I don't know anyone.
I cannot, even people I know who are highly allergic still love them.
Yeah.
They're still like, oh, I wish I could have one. So
Yeah.
it's,
I'm so happy you're doing this. But before we get into some of the questions, I want to back up for something that you said in the bio, which is about Mac. So, for you to name this the Mac Fund, out of all the cats you had, I need to know more about cats with Mac. Like, here's
uh,
all these cats. Here's Mac. How did Mac stand out in all the cats? It's like, what did he mean to you?
yeah, he was not our first. He was the second one that my husband and I adopted together. And I love all my animals. I truly do. But there is
Yeah,
that one that just
yeah,
touches your soul. He was my furry soulmate. That was the only way to put it. He had more nicknames than any animal, like Macalicious, Mac Man, Mac Daddy, Dr. Feelgood. He just went on and on. He was just incredible. And when he passed, I mourn all of them, but he just broke my heart. And my husband said to me, I can't see you like this. Your grief is just so much. Do something to honor him. And
mhm,
I said, okay. And I kind of dragged my feet because I didn't think I could do a charity or an animal rescue. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. And they kind of put, him and a friend of mine kind of pushed and said yes and made me put a logo together and did this whole thing and got me involved with somebody who knew a lawyer who could make it into a 501c3 for me. And
oh.
if they hadn't pushed me, I never would have done it.
Okay, so back up a second. He wasn't your first. You said it was the
Yeah.
second fur baby.
Well, the second that my husband and I
Yeah,
had cats and dogs growing up, but
yeah, the two of you together.
yes.
Okay. And you and I were talking a little bit about that special cat. We had this cat that went back and forth that we called Professor Snapes. And we love all our animals, but you're right. There is something that sometimes you just connect with that specific cat. I know in our household, there's one that my son does, there's one that my husband does, there's one that me. We love them all, but sometimes you get that one special connection and bond. And what I love that you said is your husband was like, let's take this grief and do something with it.
Yes, that was very important to him. And I'm very lucky that he did do that because Max Fun has like people I don't will come up to me and like, oh my God, I heard your event is happening. I want to go to, and I'm like, how did you hear about it? We didn't start promoting it yet. And it's just like, because it's becoming so popular, just word of mouth now.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. I love this. And it came from passion. And my biggest message that I kept hearing when you said that to me when we chatted last week is that you took that grief and you did something to make a positive difference in the world.
Yeah, I speaking to that, I always feel when I'm making these events, putting these events together or doing a TNR sponsorship voucher program, I can almost see Mac looking down on me and just kind of smiling a little bit.
I know I didn't ask you to do this, but there isn't like a picture of Mac that you have.
Well, if you look at our logo, if you can
Yep.
see our logo, that is Mac.
Oh, it is?
Yes. I have a
Hi,
portrait
Mac.
of him hanging. He was before cell phones, so we only have like one or two actual photographs of him. But yeah,
That's Mac. Hi, Mac.
yeah,
For
that's my
those of
boy.
you, yeah, if you're not watching and you're listening, I'm sure you can see it on different social medias because that's your logo, right? The Mac Fund.
Correct.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So now we know, people, why I said I've never done this before. And now and then I do support causes, but this one really stood out for me, especially right now when I recently took in two more cats. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm a crazy cat person. And then Claire said, wait a minute, we have seven. I'm like, okay. All right.
You'll always find somebody who has more than you have, so it always makes you feel a little better.
Oh my goodness. All right. So let's get into some of your tips because I do want to make sure we get at least a few of these in, and I do got a bunch of questions. Try and learn something every day, whether through reading or listening to a podcast or my favorite, volunteering. So every day, you just want to learn one new thing. That's it.
Yes. I feel like if I can learn one new thing that day, I've accomplished something.
And I don't know if it has to be time consuming or complicated, but I do think everybody would benefit, not every day, by doing some type of community service or volunteering.
I find it's good for the heart, it's good for the community, it's good for whoever you're helping, whether it's an animal or a person. It's such a win-win.
Yeah. Now, do you get involved in other fundraisers for animals, or is your specific thing you got to just stay on target because we were like probably a one woman show, right? As far as the MAC fund.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I pretty much run Max Fund by myself. Like I said, when we do the events, everybody volunteers to help with, raising the money and stuff. But I run it pretty much. That's why we are not a brick and mortar. We do not. I am fostering a mom cat and 3 kittens right now, but that's through a different organization. We work with Morris Animal Refuge. We sponsor their TNR program. We work very closely with Philadoptables. We also do Forgotten Cats. We do voucher programs with Forgotten Cats. And voucher programs are basically the trappers who go out and do the TNR, which is trap, neuter, release. This is the process that Max Fund was doing. We wanted to do something for animal rescue, but we didn't want to do what everybody else was doing. And we saw every year more and more kittens were coming in, and these rescues were doing a great job getting them adopted out, but they weren't solving the problem. So we did some research and we found out about TNR, which is trap, neuter, release, and they take the cats you see them in a colony, like there's somebody, an old lady feeding them on the block, and 5 or 6 cats show up, or behind a dumpster or whatever, and behind a thing of stores there'll be, a group of cats, and there's one person who goes and feeds them and takes care of them. Well, the person who goes and feeds and takes care of them also has to get a medical treatment, and they get them spayed and neutered so that they're not tons and tons of cats constantly procreating. Having community cats is a great thing to control pests,
Yeah,
mice and
yeah.
rats. But once they become an overpopulation, that's when we have a problem for the community. So Max Fund goes in and we try and keep the population down, that it's still doing good for the community without overtaking the community.
I never thought of this before. It's brilliant.
TNR, it's the most humane and the most best way to help the community cat population right now. One cat can get pregnant at 6 months old. A female can get pregnant at 6 months old and have up to 6 kittens in a litter, and do that twice a year. One male can impregnate up to 3 or 4 cats in a day, 3 or 4 females in a day. So if you just do the math on that in itself, the amount of cats that are out there procreating, and there's certainly not enough resources to go around. And as much as I love having the kittens in the kitten room and taking care of them, I know they're the lucky ones. They're the ones who got somebody to take care of them and bring them in and are going to get a house. There's so many more who aren't going to get their home. They're not going to get their forever home. And I'm sorry, I go on and on.
No, you don't understand. I don't think there's many people that know about this because I've never, like the way you described it, I don't see that in my neighborhood. I mean, a lot of people have cats, a lot of people have indoor, outdoor cats. I see them all over, but then they go home night night. Now and then I'll see a stray cat, like one, like the one we had come back and forth, or another one. But, like you said, the whole neighborhood is feeding it. So it's not like a whole bunch of, like, there might be this one cat that he'll stop probably at different homes. And I was going to ask you at the end, but like, I didn't know what you meant by release them. So you're going in. I want to make sure I get this straight. Like, how do you hear about them? Like, somebody tells you there's a group of.
There is a whole organization of people called trappers. They are my heroes. They go like, cats will all gather like at a garage or someplace that's closed up at nighttime. And
Yeah.
there's somebody who will go there and feed them every single night. And with that, they'll go in and they'll trap them and take them in to get them spayed and neutered. They do this all on their own dime. They don't get any money from the government or from anybody to do it. So it's $50 for each cat that they get spayed and neutered. You're looking at, $500 within 10 cats, So this Max Fund raises the money so these guys can still, I can't do what they do. It would break my heart. It's just what they see, some of
Yeah.
these cats are in bad shape. So if we can get down the population, we can then spend more money on the ones that need the surgery and help everybody.
So the trappers volunteer their time.
Yes, they go out. They will take care of 2 or 3 colonies at a time where they know there's going to be 20 cats. They know that every single cat, they know their names, they know everything, they know when they come, who gets along with who. They feed them. And then because it's a food source, you'll have more cats come in looking for more food, to get a bite.
Get it? I get it. Okay.
So they trap and neuter the new ones. So therefore there's no procreating. And with the males, because they're now neutered, there's no spraying, there's no cat yowling, there's no bad smells around because of it. So it's, because more like in the city, there'll be more of the alleys with the cats, 20 cats in an alley. And, that's when you have a problem, when you got 20 cats and nobody's really caring for them and they're fending for themselves. And that's when somebody decides, okay, I'm frustrated. I'm going to go in. I'm going to poison all of them. And they, exterminate all the cats.
Yeah.
The problem is there's still the old lady at the end of the block feeding them. And it just makes a vacuum and more cats come in. And you didn't solve the problem at all. You just killed a bunch of cats for no reason. But if you spay and neuter them, they'll they'll keep their own colony safe. They'll protect themselves, they won't let it get out of hand.
Well, I can tell you this, whether you're a cat lover or not, who wouldn't want this?
Exactly. Yes. It's
I
like
mean,
I
it's
said,
good for everyone.
it gets rid of it helps the population. It won't happen tomorrow if you start TNRing today. It may take a year or two, but when we first moved down to Philly, we had one stray cat who hung around the neighborhood, and cute little gray cat. The next year there were three little kittens. The year after that there was about eight cats. That's when I learned about TNR, and I went to a rescue person and said, "Hey, what do I do about this?" And they said, "Oh, I'll help you." And they helped me set up and lent me traps, and I got them all trapped and neutered. And since then, that whole population has been, nobody got exterminated, but the population has gone down to there's only two cats in the neighborhood now.
Claire, this is even more awesome than I thought. I knew it was going to be amazing. Hey, I'm learning something new, and I'm helping a charity. Wait, I'm doing a podcast. I'm learning something new, and I'm spread the word. It's all, oh my God, it's brilliant. Okay, so now I love it. We're going to get back to when the date is and how they can sign up, but I want to get into this too because I think it's really, really important. Use what you didn't say freaking. Use what you already know, exclamation mark. If you are passionate about something, whatever it is, but feel like a novice, that's the key. Trust me, you know more than you think you do. You were talking about that with you. You're like, wait a minute, whoa, 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 I know nothing about this. And you did.
I knew so much. The first time somebody asked me to get up and speak about, and I was raising money for Max Fund, but like I said, I didn't go out and do the trapping. It was just too emotionally hard on me. So I felt like, oh, I don't really know enough about it. I haven't gone out and really done it myself. I got up there and they had to finally like pull me off stage, like, okay, you're done. You've said enough. Like, I was afraid I wouldn't have anything to say. And I couldn't, once I started, yes, as you
Yeah.
could see. I
It's
started
just getting
talking
over
about it.
that initial hump, the initial nerves, right? Yeah.
Exactly, yes. And then once you ask me about TNR or, Max Fund, I get comfortable and I'm like, okay, I know Max Fund. I started, I can talk about it. Then I'm like, Max Fund does TNR. Okay, this is what I know about TNR. So I
Yeah.
went from thinking I know nothing to, and I've had people come, contact me and say, hey, I'm having a problem with my cat, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to bring in, and I'm like, oh, well, I don't know. This is what we did, blah, blah, and come back to me a year later and be like, oh my God, thank you so much. You saw, my cats are all getting along. Everything's great. And I'm like, I had no idea. I just told you what we did.
I love you. This is freaking awesome. And I love what you're doing. I'm glad Jamie connected us. She knows me. She's like, okay. And I'm just thinking of more situations where cats have made a difference. In my mother-in-law is now in rehab and they have, resident cat Ginger. Everybody loves Ginger. It makes such a difference in their lives. Not that they would
Absolutely.
also want a dog, but dog is more high maintenance. So that cat,
Oh,
you know,
yes. Yeah.
runs the show there. Everybody loves Ginger. Isn't that crazy?
And they only have one. I'm shocked.
They only have one. Maybe I should change that and give them some of mine. No, I don't know.
Oh, but who would you part with? Choosing the one you would say goodbye
Oh
to.
no.
That's always.
Actually, the
Yeah.
one cat came with a friend of my son who is more like a therapy cat to them, who is living with us. So they brought their cat with us, Meowchi. Don't you love that name? And
It's a
then
great
while
name.
my mother-in-law is in the rehab center till she gets switched to the senior center, we have Holly. So Holly might be gone, we're not sure, but we're all good. All right, so I this is true. And everyone who volunteers for an organization or help someone. Offering your help is a win-win situation. You make a difference for an individual or organization while making yourself feel good. I used to tell people, um, I'm very selfish. And they're like, you're always wanting to do this. I'm like, yo, I'm selfish. It makes me feel good to help people. It's
Right?
really
I
about
mean,
me because when I help someone or volunteer or see somebody smile, I feel really good. So I think it is a win-win. I'm not going to tell myself I'm selfish anymore. I'm going to just say it's a win-win.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And what's wrong with you getting something out of it too, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Oh my God. Claire, this is going to be awesome. All right. Couple more things before we go, but let's talk about actually, again, a first, because I've never done this. What goes on the day of the event? And by the way, just so you know, I don't do a lot of events and promote a lot of events. Not that we don't like on the side, but I was so excited about this one. And the fact that how the freak I don't know about it when I live in Berwyn and it's in Wayne, we got to shout it from the rooftop. So tell me what goes on that day and what the date is.
okay. The event takes place on July 16th. It's a Thursday. It's from 6 to 9 p.m. and it's at the Keller Williams Realtor. I know
Oh,
people go a realtor for an event, but and we reached out to restaurants. All want to help, but the problem is live animals in a place where they prepare food is an issue. So we were lucky enough to have a friend, Michelle Leonard, who offered her building
holler.
for. We love her, yes. Who offered her Keller Williams, and I kind of went, really, a realtor? But it's a beautiful location with a big, large kitchen, and then it has a separate room that they call their classroom. So we'll go take everything out of the classroom and set it up with cozy couches and comfy chairs, and then in kind of like squares. And there'll be a playpen in the center of the square with 4 or 5 kittens, and there'll be about 4 or 5 of those set up all around that room. And you just come in, you sit down, you scoop up a kitten, you play with it for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, how long you want. You're done with that. You come out. We have Harvest Seasonal Grill restaurant is supplying all the food, which they're fabulous if you've ever had them. We've got local Philadelphia Distillery is donating like 3 different kind of gins. Tito's homemade vodka is involved. SP2 2SP, sorry, brewery is supplying our beer. Chadsford Wineries. I mean, and they all just donate for, and then just the local places, like just reaching out to people in Berwyn and Wayne and stuff. We have a bunch of local community organizations who are offering donations and stuff. So, and then along with that, you got tons of raffles. You can
That's
for,
what I
for
mean. Can
that.
people still? That's what I wanted to figure out. So for the local businesses, because we're going to make sure we put this out soon, um, can they still donate stuff that can be raffled off? Is it too late?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. No, no. We'll always take more raffles. No problem. And the best way is to email me directly or to contact me through my phone number. Okay.
Okay. We're going to put it in the show notes, but tell them that. Tell them how they can
Okay.
reach.
Okay. Their direct line is 610-999-1999. And the email address is CLAREATMACFUND. So it's Claire at MacFund at gmail.com.
Cool.
I know,
All right.
very long and complicated. But then along with that, we also have a tarot card reader who's there, and she's great. Marilyn Zeff, she does, not along with tarot card reading, she does lipstick reading, she does handwriting reading, just a bunch of fun
What's
things.
lipstick reading? Wait, what's lipstick reading?
You put lipstick on your lips and you kiss a napkin, and she can tell by the lines, kind of like palm reading, the idea of like palm reading, but it's through your lips. So,
That's a
but
joke.
she's great. We've had her at other events, and then we have Mike Paldino, who's an up close magician who just blows my mind every time I see him. Like this stuff he does, I just cannot figure it out. But he's great, and it's just. And then we have live music playing kind of in the background,
Yeah.
So
It's a fun event.
it's a
Whether
fun.
you want
There's
to pick up a
something
kitty or not, it's a fun event.
exactly. There's something for everybody to do.
Okay. So let me make sure I get this right. July 16th, 6 to 9, it's going to be in Wayne. Lots of fun things in addition to kiddies. Do they purchase a ticket ahead of time or can they just walk in?
We selling tickets ahead of time. If we so we max out at 150. So if you can certainly we'll take them at the door. But if we are sold out ahead of time, that's you know
Okay.
that's always a good problem to have.
Yeah. And where can they purchase a ticket?
They can go to maxfund.com.
Okay.
And they can purchase the tickets right through that or rally up
Okay.
and just you just have to do kitten cuddle.
This sounds like a whole fun family event for sure.
Definitely kids have a great time. Parents have fun. It's just
Yeah.
and by the way, if you're interested in adopting one of the kittens at the event, if you go to maxfund.com and there is a link there where you can register to get pre-approved
Oh,
for the adoption. And if you get pre-approved before the adoption and you show up and you pick out one of the kittens you like, you can go home with it that night.
yeah. I'm going to have blinders on because my husband will be like, no,
Just
we're
forget
full.
leave your carrier at home. That'll be your excuse.
My God. Okay, Claire. Well, this was awesome. I'm so glad this was my first
Well,
for
thank you
kidding.
very much. Yes,
Yeah.
this was great.
Yeah, and it's going to be great. The event's going to be great, and I'm happy that the whole idea of, hey, I got something to say, I started was for women that were making a positive, powerful difference in the world, and they didn't feel like they were getting their message out. So originally it started because I was traveling a lot, and women were saying, yeah, I just don't feel heard, and they had some mission or something they really had to say to get out to the world. And then it expanded, because it was more in the mental health and well-being, my area, to I want to highlight anyone making a powerful difference in the world. Like if I feel their energy and it's pure and it's real, I don't care what it is. I want to shout it from the rooftops. So I am so glad that I'm getting to shout this from the rooftops. And
Well,
my
thank you.
yeah, I'm really happy about that. So, my hey, I got something to say, people around the world, women that support us, men that support us, we know how much you want to support this event. So, here's the deal. Even if you can't come to the event, maybe you don't even live near, just promote it. Promote the event, or you don't have, I'm sure some of you are just going to want to contribute even though you can't be there, but also let it fire you up about what you could do in your community to make a difference. Because every little thing matters. The smallest difference really, really matters. For me, every day I go out, I'm going to start dancing somewhere to make somebody laugh. But I truly believe that even on the toughest moments and the toughest days, those small moments of joy still matter. And that's how I make my difference. How are you going to make yours? Well, you're going to start with sharing, promoting, and liking this podcast. Claire and I would really, really appreciate it. I am so grateful for you. I feel like I attract the most amazing humans in the world. And so for that, I feel like the most blessed person. And until next time, you know what I'm going to say. Well, hopefully I'll see you at the event on July 16th and
Yeah.
toodles.
Bye. Thank you.